Hello everyone, my name is Arya Ajay Kudsarkar and I am a legal intern at Lexis & Company. I am also a student from 4th year BA LLB at GR Kari College of Law, Margao, Goa, under Goa University. Today I am going to be talking on the topic of the relevancy and admissibility of evidences under the Evidence Act 1872. So the purpose of making this video is to spread awareness about the evidences that are relevant and the ones which are admissible in the court of law under the Evidence Act 1872. So relevant means that which is logically probative. Admissibility is not based on logic but on law and strict rules. Many facts having no bearing of the fact to be proved are admissible. The proof of loss of original deeds has no effect on the decision of issue, but this is admissible in evidence before secondary evidence about the contents of the relevant document may be given. In the Indian Evidence Act, the question of relevancy has been dealt with under Section 5 to 55 and that of admissibility under Section 56 and onwards. The rules of relevancy declare certain facts relevant. The rules of admissibility lay down as to whether a certain form of evidence about relevant facts may be allowed or excluded. What is the material fact which may be produced before a court in a case is the first question. Relevancy means what facts may be proved before a court. The facts that are allowed to be proved under Evidence Act Section 5 to 55 are called relevant facts. Thus, under Evidence Act, the terms relevant or the facts that may be proved are synonymous. Admissibility is the means and the methods of proving the relevant facts. In the Ram Bihari Yadav versus State of Bihar, the Supreme Court, speaking through Muhammad Qadri judge, said that more than often the expressions relevancy and admissibility are used as synonyms, but their legal implications are different because more often than not, facts which are relevant may not be admissible. For example, the communication made by a spouse during marriage, the communication between an advocate and his client, though relevant, are not admissible. So also the facts which are admissible may not be relevant. For example, questions permitted to be cross-examined to test the veracity or to impeach credit of witness, though not relevant, are admissible. There's a distinction between admissibility and relevancy. Admissibility is not based on logic but on strict rules of law, whereas relevancy is based on logic and probability. The rule of admissibility is described after Section 56 of the Evidence Act 1872. The rule of relevancy are described from Section 5 to 55 of Indian Evidence Act 1872. The rules of admissibility declare whether certain types of relevant evidence is admissible or are to be excluded. The rules of relevancy declare what is relevant. Admissibility is the means and modes for admissibility of relevant evidence. The rules of relevancy indicate the facts permitted to be proved, which then become admissible. The facts which are admissible are not necessarily relevant. The facts which are relevant are not necessarily admissible. Objection to relevancy and admissibility. An erroneous omission to object to the relevancy of evidence before the trial court does not make the evidence relevant if the evidence is irrelevant and it has been admitted by the trial court that an objection can be taken at any stage, even in the highest appellate court, which was held in Miller versus Madhava. The question of relevancy is a question of law and can be raised at any stage. But if the evidence is relevant, but the proof is improper and evidence is once admitted, no objection can be taken afterwards. Under Evidence Act, the secondary evidence of a document may be given when the loss of primary is proved. If at the trial a secondary evidence is given of the contents of a relevant document and no objection is raised afterwards, it cannot be objected that the evidence has been given improperly. Question of relevancy is question of law and can be raised at any stage, but the question of proof is a question of procedure and is capable of being waived. Where the objection to be taken is not that the document is in itself inadmissible, but that the mode of proof put forward is irregular or insufficient. It is essential that the objection should be taken at the trial before the document is marked as an exhibit and admitted to the record. A party cannot file under the case comes before a court of appeal and then complain for the first time of the mode of proof. Gopala Das versus Sri Thakurji. Hari Mohammed versus State of West Bengal. The objection of the copying of mortgage deed is not legal. Secondary evidence is merely to the mode of proof of the document and should be raised at the very time the document is sought to be tendered in evidence and proved. When a document has been exhibited, it cannot be exhibited at a later stage on the ground of its being not legally proved. Ali Hassan versus Matiullah. So, please do like, share, subscribe and comment on my video, and do like and subscribe our channel Let's Click, and make sure to press the bell icon to get notifications when we post a video. Also, please give me a feedback on this video and previous videos which you can see on this YouTube channel. Also, if you have any questions related to this video or any previous videos, please post it in the comment section below. I will reply as soon as possible. Lastly, this video doesn't solicit any type of promotion or advertisement as per the guidelines of Bar Council of India, and the sole purpose of making this video is for educational purposes only. Thank you.